Welcome to Golden Memories. I'm Barbara. Here, we revisit the lives of cherished icons whose moments continue to shine through time. Their talent, warmth, and dedication left a lasting impression on audiences everywhere. Join us as we celebrate their journeys across film, music, and culture, honoring memories that remain timeless and forever inspiring. Alan Osmond passed away at the age of 76, after living for many years with multiple sclerosis, leaving behind a life remembered for both music and quiet strength. As the eldest member of the Osmonds, he became part of a musical journey that reached audiences around the world, especially during the group's rise in the 1970s. Beyond the spotlight, Alan was known for the way he carried himself with calm purpose and deep care for his family. Even as his health changed over time, he continued to face life with acceptance rather than resistance, choosing to focus on growth and meaning in everyday moments. His experience with illness shaped a slower, more reflective pace of life, where patience and resilience became central to his outlook. Despite physical limitations in later years, he still found ways to contribute through encouragement, creativity, and presence, showing that value is not defined by ability alone. He believed in supporting others and remained committed to lifting those around him in small but genuine ways. His life story is often remembered not just for musical success, but for the way he adapted, endured, and continued to care deeply for people. In the end, his journey leaves a lasting reminder that purpose can evolve, and that a life grounded in love and perseverance continues to inspire even after it ends. Jay North, born on August 3, 1951, is remembered as one of classic American television's most recognizable child actors. He rose to fame as Dennis Mitchell in the beloved sitcom Dennis the Menace, 1959 to 1963, where his playful energy and natural charm captured audiences and defined the image of the mischievous but kind-hearted neighborhood kid. The role made him a household name and continues to hold nostalgic value for fans of early television comedy. After his breakout success, North continued working in entertainment and took on roles that helped him move beyond his childhood image. He starred in the adventure series Maya, where he showed greater dramatic range and proved his ability to handle more mature storytelling. He also contributed voice work to animated projects, expanding his presence in different areas of entertainment. Like many child stars of his era, his path included challenges while transitioning into adulthood. Yet his contribution to television history remains important. He represented a time when family television focused on simple, heartfelt storytelling that still resonates with audiences today. Later in life, he stepped away from the spotlight, but his work continued to be appreciated by generations of viewers. He passed away at the age of 73, leaving behind a legacy defined by humor, innocence, and a lasting connection with classic television audiences. 20 years ago this week, the music world quietly lost June Pointer at the age of 52. As a member of the iconic family group, the Pointer Sisters, she was part of a legacy that helped shape the sound of pop, R&B, and dance music across the 1970s and 1980s. Her voice carried a bright, effortless energy that blended perfectly with her sisters, creating a sound that felt both joyful and unmistakably human. Together, they brought life to songs that became defining moments for an entire generation. June's contributions can be heard in unforgettable tracks, like Fire, He's So Shy, Jump, For My Love, and I'm So Excited. These songs were more than chart successes. They were bursts of pure spirit that filled dance floors, radio waves, and everyday moments with movement and emotion. Her vocal presence helped turn each performance into something vibrant and lasting, the kind of music that still invites people to sing along decades later. Away from the spotlight, her story also reflected the challenges that often come with fame, including pressure and personal change that continued long after the applause faded. When she passed away, it marked the closing of an important chapter in pop history. but her voice remains deeply woven into the songs that continue to inspire joy, nostalgia, and energy around the world. Mark Volman, born April 19, 1947, was a vibrant and memorable presence in American pop and rock music, known for his expressive voice, humor, and energetic performances. As a founding member of the Turtles, he helped shape the sound of the 1960s with songs that still connect with listeners today, including the timeless Happy Together. His style combined catchy melodies with a playful personality that made the band stand out during a competitive musical era. Later, alongside longtime collaborator Howard Kaylan, he formed Flo and Eddie, exploring new creative directions through touring, recording, and collaborations with well-known artists across different genres. Beyond performing, Volman was appreciated for his warmth and wit, often creating a genuine connection with audiences on stage. He also shared his experience with younger musicians, encouraging creativity and passion for music. His influence extended across decades, leaving a lighthearted yet meaningful mark on rock and pop culture. Mark Volman passed away at the age of 78, but his music and spirit continue to live on through the songs, performances, and memories he helped create. Phil Garner, widely known by the nickname Scrap Iron, earned that title because of his tough, fearless, and hard-working approach to baseball. Born on April 30th, 1949 in Jefferson City, he grew up in a modest, working-class environment that shaped his strong mindset and discipline. At the University of Tennessee, he developed into a reliable infielder and determined hitter, building a foundation for a professional career built on effort rather than shortcuts. He made his Major League Baseball debut in 1973 with the Oakland Athletics and later played for several teams, most notably the Pittsburgh Pirates. His peak moment came in 1979 when he played a key role in helping the Pirates win the World Series, delivering important performances when it mattered most. Over a 16-season career, he appeared in more than 1,800 games and earned 3 All-Star selections, gaining respect as a steady and dependable presence. After retiring as a player, Garner moved into managing and led teams such as the Houston Astros, guiding them to their first World Series appearance in 2005. Even after his time in the spotlight, he remained connected to the game and faced serious health challenges with courage and dignity. His legacy reflects determination, leadership, and a never-give-up spirit that continues to inspire baseball fans. Long before the world recognized Eddie Murphy as one of the greatest entertainers of all time, he was simply a quiet boy, growing up in Brooklyn's Bushwick neighborhood, trying to survive circumstances that hardened children far too early. Born on April 3, 1961, into a working-class family, Eddie entered a world where struggle was constant and stability was fragile. His father, Charles Murphy, balanced work as a transit police officer while pursuing comedy at night, while his mother, Lillian, worked tirelessly as a telephone operator to keep the family afloat. Even in difficult moments, humor existed inside their small apartment, like a flickering light refusing to disappear. But childhood security vanished quickly. His parents separated, and tragedy soon followed when his father died, while Eddie was still very young. Shortly afterward, his mother suffered a breakdown that left Eddie and his brother Charlie in foster care. Those years changed him forever. Comedy stopped being entertainment and became emotional armor. He learned to imitate voices, study expressions, and create laughter as protection against fear, loneliness, and uncertainty. The foundation of Eddie Murphy's brilliance was not built on privilege or opportunity. It was built on endurance, discovering laughter as a way to stay alive. As Eddie Murphy moved with his family to Roosevelt, Long Island after his mother remarried, life became calmer, but never entirely easy. Stability arrived slowly, and even as a teenager, Eddie carried the emotional weight of his early years. At school, however, something unusual began to emerge. He possessed a timing and presence that drew attention instantly. Students laughed before he even finished speaking. Teachers noticed his ability to control a room without force. Yet beneath every joke remained the instincts of a child who understood how quickly comfort could disappear. By the age of 15, Eddie stepped onto a small stage during a local talent show and discovered something life-changing. The laughter he received no longer felt like defense alone. It felt like recognition. For the first time, he experienced the possibility that his pain could transform into purpose. Inspired by comedians like Richard Pryor, he began practicing obsessively, memorizing routines, creating voices, and sharpening his instincts. He traveled into Manhattan late at night, performing in tiny comedy clubs for almost no money. He endured exhaustion, hunger, and rejection without complaint, because performing gave him identity. Those difficult nights built discipline that would later separate him from everyone else. Eddie Murphy was no longer simply surviving. He was beginning to become unforgettable. The dangerous climb toward recognition and fame. Before fame transformed him into a global superstar, Eddie Murphy experienced years filled with sacrifice that few people ever witnessed. As a teenager trying to break into comedy, he worked small jobs during the day and spent nights chasing stage time in Manhattan clubs, crowded with older, tougher performers. He often rode trains home exhausted, carrying wrinkled pages of material in his pockets, while practicing impressions under his breath. Some nights he earned only enough money for food. Other nights he slept wherever he could because there was nowhere else to go. Yet he refused to quit. Every performance became proof that he still mattered. By 19, his determination finally collided with opportunity when he joined Saturday Night Live during one of the show's weakest periods. Initially ignored and placed in background sketches, Eddie waited patiently until an unexpected moment changed everything. During a live broadcast, producers suddenly needed him to perform longer on air. He stepped forward with raw confidence and unleashed years of preparation in minutes. His energy electrified the audience instantly. Viewers recognized a new force unlike anyone television had seen before. Overnight, the struggling young comedian from Brooklyn became the reason millions tuned in each week. Fame did not slowly approach Eddie Murphy. It exploded into his life, becoming the face of Hollywood's golden era. The early 1980s transformed Eddie Murphy from television sensation into one of the most powerful stars in Hollywood history. Films like 48 Hours and Trading Places proved he possessed extraordinary charisma, but it was Beverly Hills Cop that changed everything permanently. The movie became a worldwide phenomenon and established Eddie as the first black actor to dominate the global box office at that level. Suddenly, he was no longer simply a comedian. He became a cultural force. Studios revolved around him, audiences adored him, and his presence alone guaranteed success. Yet behind the cameras, fame created isolation. His schedule became relentless. Film sets blurred together with interviews, premieres, and endless expectations. Sleep disappeared. Privacy vanished. Everywhere he went, people expected him to perform. Although millions laughed because of him, very few truly knew him. Eddie later admitted that success often hid emotional exhaustion rather than healing it. During this period, he continued delivering hits such as Coming to America and Harlem Nights while carrying pressure few people understood. He had conquered Hollywood before turning 30, but internally he was still searching for peace. The brighter the spotlight became, the harder it was to recognize himself beneath it. Love, fatherhood, and the fear of emotional distance. While Eddie Murphy dominated Hollywood professionally, his personal life became increasingly complicated. Early relationships with women like Paulette McNeely and Tamara Hood introduced him to fatherhood during the height of his fame. The birth of his sons changed him emotionally in ways success never could. Holding his children gave him moments of clarity and tenderness that contrasted sharply with the chaos of celebrity life. Yet balancing stardom with intimacy proved difficult. Film schedules, travel, and constant public attention slowly created emotional distance inside relationships that once felt promising. Eddie loved his children deeply, but he often realized too late how much time had slipped away while he worked endlessly. Moments like first steps or ordinary family evenings were sometimes replaced by premieres and production meetings. Over time, relationships faded not through dramatic conflict, but through absence. Eddie later reflected that fame had made him successful long before it made him emotionally mature. He recognized how difficult it was to remain fully present while carrying enormous expectations from the outside world. These experiences shaped the way he approached fatherhood later in life. Even while navigating heartbreak, he remained committed to ensuring his children never felt abandoned. The emotional lessons of these years stayed with him permanently, teaching him that achievement means very little if the people you love begin to feel far away. Marriage, family, and the illusion of having everything. When Eddie Murphy married Nicole Mitchell, Murphy in the 1990s, it appeared as though he had finally found lasting stability. Their wedding captured enormous public attention, but inside their home, life often felt surprisingly normal. Together, they built a large family, raising 5 children in an environment filled with warmth, laughter, and structure. For Eddie, fatherhood became deeply personal because he wanted to give his children the security he himself had lacked growing up. Their home represented safety, continuity, and emotional grounding. Nicole became the calm center of family life, while Eddie balanced blockbuster films such as The Nutty Professor, Dr. Dolittle, and later Shrek. Yet fame once again carried consequences. The more his career expanded, the less time remained for the rhythms of ordinary life. Long absences and emotional exhaustion slowly created distance inside the marriage. By the early 2000s, they found themselves moving through the same home while feeling increasingly disconnected. Their separation in 2006 arrived quietly, without scandal or hatred, but the emotional impact was significant. Eddie later admitted they had not stopped loving each other. They had simply fallen out of rhythm. The marriage taught him that love alone cannot survive without attention, time, and emotional presence, public storms, private pain, and lessons in responsibility. Following his divorce, Eddie Murphy entered one of the most turbulent periods of his personal life when he became involved with Mel B from the Spice Girls. Their relationship moved quickly and intensely, fueled by emotional vulnerability and public fascination. At first, they seemed to bring excitement and healing into each other's lives. But as pressures mounted, misunderstandings deepened. When Mel became pregnant, uncertainty and emotional distance complicated everything further. What might have remained private soon exploded into tabloid headlines, turning deeply personal struggles into public entertainment. Eddie withdrew emotionally while Mel defended herself publicly, and the world judged both of them without understanding the complexity beneath the headlines. The birth of their daughter, Angel Iris, eventually forced Eddie to confront painful truths about avoidance, responsibility, and emotional presence. Holding his child changed him profoundly. He realized silence itself carries consequences, and that stepping away from difficult situations often leaves lasting damage. Over time, tensions softened, replaced gradually by mutual respect and commitment to co-parenting. Eddie became more consistent and emotionally available as a father. This chapter of his life was not glamorous, but it became transformative. It taught him maturity through discomfort and revealed how personal growth often arrives through mistakes we cannot undo, learning peace. Through letting go and starting again. After years marked by emotional chaos and public scrutiny, Eddie Murphy entered a quieter phase of life when he began a relationship with Tracy Edmonds. Their connection developed gently, built more on understanding than excitement. Both carried emotional scars from previous relationships and understood the pressures that accompany fame. For a time, they seemed to provide each other healing and calm. Their symbolic ceremony in Bora Bora reflected hope for a fresh beginning away from Hollywood noise. Yet despite sincere affection, reality eventually exposed deeper incompatibilities. Their lives moved in different directions, and emotional timing failed them. Unlike earlier breakups, however, this separation unfolded with maturity and honesty rather than bitterness. Eddie did not run into distractions or hide behind work. Instead, he accepted the ending with quiet reflection. The experience taught him that not every meaningful relationship is meant to last forever. Some people arrive to help rebuild damaged parts of us before continuing their own journeys elsewhere. Tracy represented peace after emotional storms, and although their romance ended, it left Eddie with something valuable: emotional clarity. He began understanding that true healing requires honesty with oneself, not simply public reinvention. For perhaps the first time in decades, he stopped chasing intensity and started appreciating stillness. That shift would eventually prepare him for the most grounded chapter of his life, finding lasting calm in family and private happiness. By the time Eddie Murphy met Paige Butcher, he had already experienced nearly every emotional extreme imaginable. Fame no longer excited him the way it once had, and dramatic relationships no longer felt meaningful. Paige entered his life quietly, without demanding attention or attempting to compete with his celebrity. Her calm personality immediately affected him. Around her, Eddie no longer felt pressured to perform. Their relationship developed privately and naturally, centered around companionship rather than spectacle. Together they welcomed 2 children, including a son named Max, whose middle name honored Eddie's late brother Charlie Murphy. Fatherhood during this stage of life felt entirely different from earlier decades. Eddie became more patient, emotionally available, and deeply invested in daily family routines. Instead of chasing constant attention, he embraced ordinary moments such as breakfasts with his children, quiet evenings at home, and uninterrupted conversations. The grief of losing Charlie remained with him, but family life helped soften that pain. Eddie once built his identity around making the world laugh. Now he measured happiness by peace inside his own home. This transformation represented one of the most meaningful achievements of his life. He finally understood that real fulfillment is not found in applause or headlines. It is found in emotional safety, consistency, and the ability to simply be present with the people who matter most. Grief, aging, and the quiet transformation of legacy. The death of Charlie Murphy in 2017 deeply changed Eddie Murphy. More than a brother, Charlie represented shared memory, survival, and the emotional connection to a childhood very few people truly understood. Losing him forced Eddie to confront grief in a way fame could not protect against. Friends noticed an immediate shift in his personality. He became quieter, more reflective, and less interested in public attention. Rather than burying pain beneath humor, he allowed himself to feel it honestly. Aging also changed his perspective. The intense drive that once fueled his career slowly gave way to appreciation for health, family, and emotional peace. Eddie adopted a disciplined but balanced lifestyle, focused on routine, fitness, and mental calm. He no longer chased relevance because he no longer needed validation from the outside world. His legacy had already been secured through generations of films and performances that shaped comedy forever. Yet what mattered most to him now was how he lived privately. He became more intentional with time, more careful with energy, and more grateful for ordinary experiences. Grief reorganized his priorities permanently. It reminded him that fame eventually fades into memory, but relationships, love, and emotional presence remain the true foundations of a meaningful life. The enduring legacy of a man who refused to disappear. Today, at 64 years old, Eddie Murphy stands not simply as a legendary entertainer, but as a symbol of endurance, reinvention, and emotional growth. His estimated fortune, luxurious homes, and decades of success tell only part of the story. Behind every achievement exists a lifetime shaped by struggle, pressure, heartbreak, and survival. The young boy from Bushwick, who once used comedy to escape emotional pain, eventually became one of the most influential performers in entertainment history. Through films like Dreamgirls and Dolomite Is My Name, he proved his talent could evolve with age and experience. Yet perhaps his greatest transformation happened away from cameras entirely. Eddie Murphy learned that peace matters more than applause, and that presence matters more than popularity. He built a life centered around family, privacy, and emotional honesty rather than endless ambition. His laughter once protected him from collapsing under pain. Now it reflects wisdom earned through decades of living fully and imperfectly. Eddie Murphy's story is ultimately not about celebrity alone. It is about resilience. It is about learning how to survive loss without losing yourself. And most importantly, it is about discovering that the rarest success in life is finding peace while you are still here to enjoy it.